Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. We're at Wednesday today, right? Yeah, we are at Wednesday. That is the halfway mark of our general working week. I hope that your week is good. You're halfway into it. I hope that you're able to feel like you can deal with whatever this week brings to you. Our teacher this week is Charles Eisenstein. Brilliant work from Charles Eisenstein. If you get the daily dose, the daily newsletter, his work will be in there for you. His name is there, so you can search for it quite easily. If you don't get the daily newsletter, please remember to send me a message, send me a DM or an email, and I'll gladly add you to that list. Really awesome work. Sunmari, good morning. Charlene, good morning. Pat, good morning. Ilza, good morning. Awesome seeing you all. Right, let's get into today's stuff. When you remember who you are, you also remember what it is you need to do. And then there is no need for forcing or fighting or even trying to enforce discipline, because you'll be in alignment with the purpose of your soul. Jacqueline, good morning. Awesome seeing you. Anthony, good morning. A happy hello all the way from the other side of the world. Charles Eisenstein says, true discipline is really just self-remembering. I love this description. True discipline is really just self-remembering. No forcing or fighting is necessary. Here's an image that I love. Have you ever thought of it this way? If you look at a tree, who stands next to that tree with a whip, threatening to whip it if it doesn't grow, if it doesn't reach its potential? I mean, it's a silly thought, but also an amusing thought, that it would be necessary for anyone to whip a tree into growing. But we so often treat humans the opposite way. We say, laziness is your nature, sin is your nature, and if I don't stand next to you with a whip, you will never reach your potential. And I often think that we really miss something about what we really are when we look at humans that way. Do we miss something? Is it possible that there's a part of us that, just like that tree, would naturally reach its potential if we are true to what that potential is? And this is what he's trying to say, that true discipline is really self-remembering. True discipline comes from knowing who you are, remembering what and who you are, and that no forcing and fighting would be necessary. The next thought from him says, the logic is backwards. Genius is the result of doing what you love, not the prerequisite for it. Nella, good morning. Awesome seeing you. When you are doing what you love, when you're in touch with your soul, when you're aligned with that space, what you're doing, what you're busy doing, comes from genius. Genius is your natural state when you are aligned with your soul. The last thought from Charles Eisenstein says, trust your intuition and be guided by love. Trust your intuition and be guided by love. Diana, very good morning. It is really good to see you live with us. Hello. Thanks for checking in. If you are in alignment with your soul, then you will be the natural expression of your soul, and how to create will be a lot more obvious. This doesn't mean that you have to create a company that makes you a billionaire, or that you have to start a social movement that changes the world. It might just mean that you flower and you bloom exactly where you are, and that you feel fulfilled by doing exactly that. It's a beautiful, beautiful message from Charles Eisenstein. And how do we get more of that? How do we become more aligned and have a remembering of exactly who we are? Today's meditation is certainly a part of that journey. We have to have acceptance for all of what we are as human. We have to have acceptance for the real human stuff, to find that while we can hold the real human stuff, the part of us that's doing the holding is our soul, and we'll remember from there. Today's meditation is called A Sense of Self. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away together. Starting with the first few big breaths. Here we go. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, feel yourself grow from that space. Feel yourself expand from your core outwards in all directions. Once you've reached your full height, then again let all of it go. Continue your full body breathing. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. And with every exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine. Slump down your shoulders and drop your head. We are inviting the inner children to sit at our feet today. The image I always have is of a grade 1 teacher or preschool teacher sitting on the mat and inviting the kids to sit at her feet. And as you continue your own full body breathing, invite these inner children to come and breathe along with you. As your body rises and falls, just imagine you could see them breathe, rise and fall along with you. Our journey today is to listen, to invite our inner children to speak, and for us to just listen. I'll give you the examples I will use in a moment, but please remember that you are welcome to use whatever examples you feel that you need to use. Our examples today will be hurt or pain. Let's call it a part of you that often feels like it hurts, a part of you that often feels like it's in pain. We are inviting that inner child to speak. The next example for today will be shame. A part of you that sometimes feels ashamed. We are inviting that inner child to speak. And then fear. A part of you that sometimes feels really scared. We're inviting that inner child too to speak. We'll do the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down. And of course, you can allow these or invite these inner children to stretch along with you. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big and slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big and slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. However you move your back, your upper body, your spine is good. You're stretching your back muscles. And by moving your spine, you're also moving spinal fluid. Take a few moments, multiple times in your day, to move your body, specifically move your spine. This is like putting grease on the gears of a machine, or adding a little bit of oil. You're lubricating your nervous system. Switches on your brain and wakes up your nervous system. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. After having softened our bodies into a space of presence as much as we can, we'll now turn inwards, dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, this would be a great place to stop. And if you are here for the whole journey, with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a long, slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel the muscles of your body soften. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow. Feel how your body softens. Feel how your shoulders fall. Feel how you are slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, remind yourself of these children sitting at your feet. Take your next big breath. examples I am using today are hurt, a part of you that hurts or sometimes feels like it hurts. Shame, the part of you that sometimes feels, experiences shame. And fear, the part of you that sometimes feels really scared. Our journey today is to just listen. Just allow them to speak while we take the time to listen. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you and take a look at these children at your feet. While you look at them, tell them that. Tell them, I am here and I am listening. Take your next big breath. We're starting with hurt or pain. The part of you that sometimes feels like it hurts. Our inner narratives, the way we speak on the inside, tend to be on a recording that gets repeated. A very similar narrative again and again. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, I want you to bring to your mind this specific narrative. When there's hurt, when pain is being felt, how does this speak in you? See if you can remember the words that are on repeat when you experience hurt or pain. Take your next big breath. And I'd love you to ask this part of you that hurts, that sometimes feels in pain, ask it a question. And let it speak some more. Sometimes when we ask a question, we get an immediate, clear answer. And sometimes we don't. And that is really okay too. But ask the question. Imagine this as a child at your feet. And ask, what is it that you're afraid will happen? Take your next big breath. thank this part of you, this specific inner child, for speaking. Thank you for having the courage to speak. We'll turn our attention to the part that sometimes feels shame, feels ashamed. And then while there might be some recent shame, it tends to be that shame from really long ago lingers a really long time. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, invite shame to speak. What is the narrative inside of you when shame speaks? Remind yourself of what is sometimes on repeat that feels ashamed. Take your next big breath. And then while you look at this inner child and the way she speaks, with your next big breath as you dive deep into you, ask her a question. What is it that you are afraid will happen? Take your next big breath. Say thank you to Shane for speaking. Thank you for having the courage to speak. And then we'll turn our attention to fear. The part of you that sometimes feels really scared. And it tends to be that when fear speaks in us, there's a similar narrative on repeat. It often speaks in the exact same way or a very similar way. Variations on the same theme. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, remind yourself of how fear speaks in you. What words are being used. Take your next big breath. while you take a look at this inner child at your feet, the one that feels scared, with your next big breath as you dive deep into you, please ask it this question: what is it that you want for me? Or what is it that you really want for us? Take your next big breath. Please say thank you to fear for speaking. Thank you for having the courage to speak. We'll take one more big breath together, helping us slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. No more attention on your breathing, just sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I always use the words of Rilke for this meditation because it really captures this moment. He wrote a piece about the things that we struggle with, the things we struggle to deal with, and just like we have a tendency to speak of our inner demons, his example was dragons, dealing with our inner dragons. And his conclusion was this, that perhaps everything that scares you is actually just something that is afraid and in need of your love. And I found this to be really very true. There's not necessarily so much to do here with the parts within us that speak in different narratives, but listen. And by listening, really see and understand that everything inside of us is actually doing its best. Recognizing that every voice is really trying to reach for a way to survive, trying to find a way to cope. That in any one of our inner narratives, there's a genuine desire for something better. And just to see that. But even more importantly, to ask yourself this question: as I take a step back, as I look at these narratives within me, Who am I being? If I'm looking at hurt and listening to hurt, I don't think I'm being this pain. As I'm looking at shame and listening to shame, I don't think I'm being shame. As I'm looking at fear and listening to fear, I don't think I'm being fear. So who am I being? And this is the deeper truth of who we are. We've picked up some baggage. We've picked up some wounds. But there's a deeper place in us that is unscarred, unwounded. And we can be this more often to get even more practical for a moment. A helpful way to try and journal is to do exactly what we did. Invite these inner children to sit at your feet, ask them to speak. How easily would you take a pen and paper and write down the words while you listen to a child speaking? So you just talk, I'll put your words on paper. We can learn to do that fairly easily for ourselves. Find the part that's hurting and listen. Ask it to speak more. And just let the words spill over the paper. There's a huge amount of self-love, self-recognition, self-validation by allowing what is inside of us to speak while we just listen. And remember, in this practice, you're being your soul. You're being your wisdom. You're being your higher self. And whatever we keep practicing, we become better at. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this journey. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for becoming a lot better at taking a look and listening to what is inside. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for getting a lot better at not having so much judgment or criticism of what is inside. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that while there is judgment and criticism, we never really can take a good look at what's inside, because we can't really come face to face with what's there if a part of us judges this. The part of us really wants to look away. We can only really get face to face and take a really good look at what is there once the judgment and criticism has been put aside. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. I want to remind you that if ever during some of our meditations, and this could be one of them, if ever something feels really difficult to deal with. Feels like you're struggling to integrate what is here, please reach out. This is what I do. I can, however, promise you that nothing inside of you wishes you harm. Nothing inside of you wants to hurt you, but everything inside of you is trying. Might be confused, but trying. And your soul knows how to hold all of this. Your soul knows how to do this. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Sunray. Michelle, it's good to see you. Hello. Thanks for being on this journey. Thanks for being on your journey. Thank you for showing up to you. Ultimately, every journey is so damn beautiful. Thanks, Ilza. It's awesome seeing you. Thank you, Anthony. And whoever else might be back there that I haven't said hello to yet. Pat, I'm seeing your face there now. Thanks for being here. Have a good day. You're awesome. I'll see you soon. Ciao, ciao.